How's it going, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Fatter Dapper. My name is Nick Lanza, and this episode will actually mark 1 year of me starting my classic menswear journey. Now, I will be the first to say that this is actually not the first time I tried to film this. In fact, the first time I tried to film this, I did like a closet tour, and it would have been like an hour long. Like, when you compare what I have to some of the other creators in this space, my collection is much more modest. And frankly, after taking some time and taking personal stock and everything, it felt better to take the more modest approach anyway, because truthfully, it's not a race, it is your journey. And however long it takes for you to reach where you feel like I've made it, is however long it takes for you to feel like you've made it. But with that said, I still wanted to make a video to check in on where I'm at and what I would love to do from here, because this is me chronicling my whole experience and my journey and the stuff I've learned. And of course, we've got, playing devil's advocate videos on this channel now and making coffee and stuff like that. Like, this is all part of my journey to explore new concepts, new ideas, but also to shed light on things from another perspective. So all that said, to run down the list of where I'm at today versus a year ago. A year ago, I had one jacket. Yep, one. Ironically though, as you can tell by my tie collection being behind me, the collection was already fairly extensive. I had about 14 or so ties. Now, I think I have 10 ties in just one color. Of course, there's also the addition of bow ties. I, for a while, only had one bow tie, and then a couple months after, I was able to have like 4 or 5. There were several unfortunate misses because they were just too small, but I was able to find ties that are my size. For trousers, I had a single pair of khakis. Most of what I had, unfortunately, did not fit anymore, and have either been donated away or I was able to store them, and thus I don't count them towards my wardrobe because I don't actively wear it. For dress shirts, I had 3. I had my purple one, I had my black one, and I had my blue one, as these for me were the 3 colors that I knew complemented my style. And if you're familiar with color theory, those are tones that work very well for me as well. As far as shoes went, I basically had one pair of cognac Oxfords. Only about a month later was I able to pick up my second, the black pair, both of which are from Florsheim. And for watches, I only had my vintage Timex Marlin, my first generation one, which I still have the face of, but I'm not sure where it's at. As far as any other extraneous items, I had 2 lapel pins because I did have my American flag one, I just wasn't wearing it, and of course the knot that comes from the Jack Victor brand. I had my trench coat, and that's pretty much it. I was still wearing only belts at this point in time. I hadn't converted to the excellence that is suspenders. And well, let's talk about where we're at today. Today, I now have 2 trench coats, a single pair of odd trousers in the gray format, a black suit, a pinstripe espresso double-breasted suit, which I love dearly, a gray herringbone jacket, a blue jacket from Joseph Abboud that I had tailored down, and of course my beloved purple and black paisley. I also own 2 vests, but I honestly don't wear them that often and will likely end up giving them to a charity. I also now own 3 pocket squares and 4 lapels. The 2 that I'd already mentioned, with the addition of the most recent ones being the Cecilia lapel and my sea turtle. As far as the dress shirts go, I would argue this is one of my weaker categories. I definitely need more. I have this one that I wear informally here for videos, but I often don't wear it out because it doesn't quite fit all the way in all the dimensions. But I still have the 3 that I mentioned, in addition to a gray French cuff. I used to have a white French cuff until it unfortunately met its demise at a dry cleaner's. Long story with that one. But I've also added in a burgundy, a white Oxford with red and blue striping, the light sky blue color with the white stripes, as well as several polos for stuff that's a lot more informal, but I still want to dress nicely. especially now that I have another job. As far as neckties go, as you can see, I have the collection behind me. This grew extensively. I now have 34 neckties and 12 bow ties. Truthfully, I am actually about to probably give a good chunk of these ties away. Just the ones that I picked up and I enjoyed. It's time to let someone else have them, as I truthfully don't need this many, but I also want to diversify just a little bit more. So there are ties like this one here that I just picked up that I'm probably not going to let go, but there are a handful in here, like say these two blues on the end, that are likely going to find a new home. As for the bow ties, I am still forever on the hunt for more, especially considering after taking stock, I recognize that there are several colors that are severely lacking in my collection, namely red and yellow. I would love to add some of that into the bow ties specifically. Also, I now have 3 sets of suspenders versus 0. 1 set of trouser suspenders and 2 of the stretchy band types that I wear often with everything other than my nicer trousers. I also forgot to mention this in my taking stock, but I also have not added any full bottles of cologne to my collection. I still am running with the same 4, as well as the testers I picked up from Memo Paris. Truth be told, I am actually considering buying 2 of the different ones from Memo Paris instead of the 1. I do like African leather, but I think I'm actually going to lean into buying French leather. I found the more that I wore it, the more I enjoyed it, and it's not as over the top as, you know, some of the other ones were. It was a lot more subtle, but I could still wear it and be out in public and feel great wearing it. All of that said, though, I am definitely going to be getting another replacement for my Fat Electrician because it is running out. And I don't want to lose out on that. It's still one of my favorite fragrances of all time, especially for everyday casual wear. For shoes, I still have the same 2 pairs of Flourishing, but I also added a 3rd one, that being my gray wingtips that severely need to go find a shoe cleaner because my dog, I don't know what he did. I don't know if he slobbered on it, but it's left a couple of stains on there and I need to get those taken out. I also picked up a pair of Nunbush loafers, which do need a sole insert. That's why I haven't worn them in a little while. And of course, the watch collection. I know that's what some people are definitely waiting for me to comment on. From the singular vintage Timex Marlin, I've now added a vintage Gruen. I've got 2 Thomas Earnshaw Drakes, one in black and one in what they call sky green. It's really just a gray color. My Timex Marlin has been replaced with a modern Timex Marlin with a champagne face. I find it to be very, very pretty and attractive. Of course, there's the Orient dive watch that my friend Ishmael gave me. And my most recent addition is this beautiful black Gevril. I have not showcased this in a video yet because I do need to go get it resized. But this thing is very nice. I'm very appreciative. Huge shout out to you, Ish, because this thing is gorgeous. This being another dive watch, but something I can wear a little more dressed up, given that it's got an all metal band and everything else. But one of the quirky features about this is it has a slide adjustment. I've never seen this before. So when you have it on, you can squeeze these back to pull the watch out or bring it in. It's kind of interesting how it has a built-in adjustment aside from link removal, so if you have like a very specifically sized wrist, you could really wear this. Huge shout out to you, my brother. I love this watch. Of course, I would be absolutely remiss if I didn't mention the hats. Last year I had only just my black wool trilby. Today I've now got 5. The black one, a new gray one that I'm probably going to actually end up retiring soon due to a mishap with it getting crushed. A burgundy one from Bailey, a straw one that I picked up from a shop online in Italy, and the most recent addition, the fedora I got from Stacy Adam. It is safe to say that this collection has come an extremely long way from where I started a year ago, and at this point now, I'm very happy with where I'm at. There's a lot more that I want to get my hands on. Of course, a couple pairs of shoes just to have a little bit more range and style, especially a black set of wingtips. And if I can get it, an espresso and cream set of wingtips. Wingtips are ultimately one of my favorite shoe styles and designs. The broguing and everything with those just looks so classy and classic. I want to have more of them for myself. I wear my gray ones almost all the time now, which is half the reason why they haven't gone to a cobbler to get cleaned up and fixed up. If I can get more of them, I'd be a happy dude. Of course, I want to get a couple more hats, namely a pork pie, because I think it would be fun to have a traditional style like that. I just have to make sure that whoever I go to get the hat, I have it sized appropriately and dimensionally correct to my physique and head. If you're a bigger fella, you know that bigger brims are often better for you. So we'll see how far that gets. And of course, a couple more fedoras would not hurt me at all. As for suits, I have only got 2 complete suits. I want to flesh it out to have 5 total suits. Will that happen in a year? Most definitely not. I got too many other bills and things I want to take care of. And of course, a trip to Italy if I can swing it, as I had to forego the trip that happened here in June into July. With the house not being sold and a number of other factors at play, I opted to stay home this time. Hopefully, I'll be able to go to Italy in the wintertime like I was planning on. It just depends on how my house sells, because I'm currently still in my original home. But as for the colors of suits I want to get, I would love to get a full navy. I would love to get a dark or darker verdant green color. I love that shade. Of course, a cream suit would not be remiss for me, although I am aware that I am a lighter skinned fella, which means that I would need to get a very specific shade of cream, or else the color wash factor will come into play, and that won't be very nice. And some people have asked, would I ever get a full purple suit? The answer to that is, it depends on the shade. If it's like a nice dark, almost Professor Plum level of color, yeah, I would absolutely do it. If it's brighter, more along the lines of, say, the Joker, nah, probably not. And no, I would definitely not be opposed to the right shade of burgundy. I don't want to get a red suit per se, but a burgundy would look very nice, as it's a color that is very often found in my clothing. And I could wear stuff like my black shirt with it. The burgundy shirt might be too much of a color wash, but if I get an odd vest for it, then that could change things. We'll see. And speaking of odd vests, I want several sets. I love wearing vests, even just casually. Sometimes I'll wear my black one in videos. You'll see that one. You definitely have seen the blue window pane a few times. Ultimately, the odd vest is just going to come down to finding material that strikes my fancy. I, of course, do still want to get like a champagne-y cream colored one, as it's a good contrast for both the the double-breasted suit that I've got, and also my black suit. I definitely want to get a few more pairs of trousers made, because my trousers fit so well. I find them to be extremely comfortable. The only reason I don't wear them more often is because I don't want to wear them out. So if I had more options in that department, I would feel a lot more comfortable wearing them more often. I like them too much, and I'm one of those people who likes to preserve the quality of things. So that's definitely going to be a challenge, but we'll make it work. As already stated, the tie situation is definitely going to change. I'm going to rotate out several of these and either give them away or sell them online. We'll see what we do with them. But the bow ties, definitely want to expand a few more of those. And especially with me wearing vests in the near future, or odd waistcoats, I want to have a few more color options to give myself even more pizzazz. And speaking of color options for pizzazz, when it comes to the lapel department, there definitely needs to be a wider expansion. I would love to have 10, 12 different options in that area. I already have 2 pairs of cufflinks. Being able to have, say, cufflinks that match my lapels would also be very, very happily added, and honestly feel warranted at this point. I have my family crest, and I have like a simple black knot structure. Outside of that, for cufflinks, I really don't know yet because I need to get more shirts that have them. And I would love to do that, except for the fact they tend to cost a lot more because it's a lot more work and material and everything else. I understand that. Just working on a budget, we'll see what we do with that in the coming year. That might be something that we wait till 2027 for. But with all that, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this is a good insight as to where my clothing trajectory is headed in the coming year. And if you got any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down in the comment section. I pay attention to everybody that comments. I love being able to interact with everybody down there. It just felt right at this point in my life to make the update. Be like, hey, it was around this time, almost a year ago, that I got my purple jacket and started wearing nicer clothes again. Why don't we document where we're at and see where it goes from here? With all that said, if you appreciate this, please hit the subscribe button, stick around, watch our other content as well, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.